Alright, this time around, I got this wacky little cartoony lineup of Peeps, various colors. Am I going to eat them? Hell no. You know better than that. They're wacky and cartoony looking, so let's add something else wacky and cartoony looking. These are actually pretty cool. They're black cat ground binds. They're really decent little fireworks. They're not too expensive. You get a pack like this for, I think, maybe $5 or less. At your local Maine Pyro City if you're in the state. Other places if you're outside of the state. So they look like these wacky little cartoon bombs that you used to see in just little round things or cannonballs. They got the fuse coming out of them, but if you notice, there's a little seam running around the middle. That seam is where they split apart. So what we're going to do, don't do this yourself, by the way. For one thing, this has a pretty predictable blast radius and an explosion and blast pattern. We're about to alter that. Now, it's kind of on the borderline here because it's not quite illegal because we're not modifying the charge itself. We're simply modifying the container that the charge is in. Now, the thing with that being that it does make this less predictable. So if you've worked with any sort of pyro ever in the past, you know that less predictable is less safe. So like I said, do not do this. And if you choose to ignore my warning, at least make sure that you've got a very wide open area and you give this plenty of room, because this bad boy is going to have a very different blast radius and pattern than it should now. So what I've done is I've sealed up that seam most of the way around, and I've left a nice little open spot there. Now the reason for that open spot is because one of our brave volunteers is going to ride this fucker, and he's going to be strapped right to that open spot. I'll cover your eyes. It'll be nice. You don't need to see what's coming. So hopefully what's going to happen is that blast is going to be focused right into that one open spot, because we have sealed up the seam in this vessel all the way around. He won't see it coming, but he's going to get blowed up. I think I'm going to try a couple of other patterns here. What we might do, I'm going to seal these bad boys up real quick here. Let's do one more of the same, just in case we get a dud on that. I'm going to leave a little bit of a bigger open spot on this one, though, just slightly. Let's see, who's next? Let's take Pinky here. He looks like he wants to go separate. I will do you the favor of covering your eyes as well. Also, it just makes sense because it's the easiest way to attach the peep is by using the thickest part. I'm going to squish you down a little bit so you're tighter against that. I think what I'm going to do, we'll see how those guys go off. I'm going to leave one of these unaltered so you can see what they look like by themselves. And then for this one, let's add multiple peeps. I'm going to start with you, purple. This could get interesting because I don't think it's going to work the way I'm envisioning it. Or it might be just fine. Tape there. And then we put blue on there. overlap. Yeah, we're kind of taping her all the way around the edge here. So we'll see how this works out. Might not go the way I want. Orange. And then the extra special fruit punch flavored Peeps. This is the only one that actually has an odor when you open it. It smells like fruit punch coming out of there. Well, I didn't give myself enough tape. Sticky little bastards. That's not adhesive from the tape. That's from the marshmallow sides of the Peeps themselves. Gross. Got peep guts all over my fingers. It's alright. With any luck, there'll be peep guts all over the ground soon enough. I'm not entirely certain this cross configuration is stable, so I'm going to go ahead and add a couple extra pieces of tape here. Keep the corners down. Don't want to block that fuse, that's for sure. But we do want to make sure that the Peeps stay attached. So let's do that. I'm going to run one more piece of tape over it here. God, I feel like some cartoon villain straight out of like Popeye or some shit with these cartoony looking bombs and my little Peeps. We're strapping them to it. Oh boy, I really hope this goes off the way I want it to. Otherwise, I'm just going to look like a jackass. There we go. That should hold together. Alright, so we got a couple of different options. We got a couple of guys strapped to these bad boys. I got one I'm going to set off by itself, and then we're going to try and get rid of all four of them at once, so that should be interesting. We'll see how that works out. One way or another, these Peeps are going to fry. So first, the baseline. This is the explosive that we're dealing with. Let's put our little pink buddy on there. That was slightly more energetic. And we blew a hole right in him. Let's see if Mr. Yellow fares any better. Well, he was completely blown away. And now it's time to make this a group effort. Well, not as effective a method for getting rid of these little bastards as I would have liked, but they are definitively dead, so not bad.